So this last week we took a look at Jesus walking on water and healing a man born blind. In John chapter 6, Jesus sends the disciples off and then he comes to join them. But he comes to join them, they're in a boat, and he's catching up with them by strolling out on the water. And they freak out, and he goes, no, it's just me, hops in the boat, and bam, they're at their destination. So what you see going on here is Jesus has power over nature. He has power over the forces of nature. Now, some people may look and say, see, God violates the forces of nature. But here's the thing. Could it be that Jesus was violating the force of gravity, for instance, in the same way that we violate the force of gravity whenever we pick up a nice cold drink on a hot summer day? Our strength overpowers the gravity. Maybe he overpowered the gravity to be out on the water. I'm not sure how it worked, but here's what I do know. Jesus exhibits power over the natural world. But then he comes and he heals a man born blind. We've already seen that Jesus has power over healing, over life and death. But what we see now is that from sometimes greater purpose or greater meaning comes out of suffering. Because we see that this man was born blind and now he's an adult. So, 20, 30 years of being blind. But now what we see, the disciples say, hey, why is this guy blind? And Jesus says he was blind, born blind, so that God's glory can be shown as he is healed. And so through his healing, God's power and glory is shown. And so we can see that sometimes what to us seems suffering in the moment, there can be a greater purpose to it that God will use in our lives and in the lives of others. Also, we see that in verse 25, whenever they are challenging the guy, and he says, hey, I don't know. I just know that I was blind, but now I see. And what we can see going on is that it's okay to not have the answers. That we can rely on our personal experience of Jesus Christ, the change he has brought about in our lives, in our hearts. That we don't have to always have the answers. Now, we should maybe go seek the answers. They're out there to find. But in the moment of doubt, we can rely on knowing that Jesus Christ has changed our lives. And again, we see that Jesus displays his power over life and death. And who else could, except for God, become man? Jesus, second person of the Trinity, Son of God. He is divine. As John said when he was writing, I am writing this that you may believe. And once again, Jesus clearly displays who he is, Son of God.